Alright, Sonny. You're gonna turn that record off now. Hello, all you young whippersnappers out there. Here's I, Grandpappy Papa. Hope you folks out there are having a good day so far. Hope you folks out there had a good week. Folks, I know it doesn't look like it, but I used to be an athletic athlete when I was a lot younger. I used to play a lot of sports. So, that leads me to today's story. Today I want to talk to y'all about them olden days of sports. Sports back in my day was a lot different from how you folks see it. People today want to play a sport, have a fancy college, what's the word for it? A college something, I forgot. They want to go to college, scholarship, that's it. People want to get famous with a college scholarship based on sports. They want to get famous based on sports. They want all the notoriety based off sports. Yo, back in my day, we had sports just for the fun of it. So, how did we handle baseball back in our day? Well, we would used to go down to a creek, and instead of having access to balls, wait a minute, let me check something. Okay, yeah, I do have access to balls today. But back then was a different story. Alright. Back then, what we had to do was instead of having access to balls in our youthful days, we had to use boulders that we found from the creek. And boy, let me tell you, they were heavy. I tell you, they were heavy. But, the goal of our game was, we didn't call it baseball. We called it branch boulder. And we only got one strike and then we were out. Because chances are, if it wasn't hitting your branch, it was hitting you. Alright? And look, let me tell you something. You young whippersnappers out there, you done got too dang soft. I tell you. Like, what is your problem? Like, you don't want to be wimps and have 3 strikes in you out with baseball? What is wrong with y'all? Like, it's just like you youngins out there in school. Like, back in my day, people had to fail their test if they didn't get higher than the 70. If you got a score lower than the 70, you failed your test. And my cane grounded. But as I digress, you baseball lovers out there insist on having 3 strikes. Back in my day, if you missed one boulder, it was gonna hit you and not the branch. It may have even landed on your feetsies. And speaking of feetsies, that leads me to football. Back in my day, we didn't call it football. We called it beefquake. So why do we call it beefquake? Well, instead of having a football to carry around or to kick across the field or to an end goal or whatever, what we would have to do is we would have to kidnap a calf. Kidnap a baby calf from the mama cow herself. You're gonna get that mama cow mad, and then she's gonna chase you. And you have to make sure that you get the baby calf into the barn before that cow chases you. It's called beefquake because the cow produces beef, and every time that cow is running after you, it sounds like there's an earthquake following you. Yeah. But then that brings me to golf. We didn't call it golf back then. What did we call it? I don't know. Well, look, the goal of golf is you have to have a big open hole somewhere, and then you have to swing your club, and then it flies across the greenery, and then it lands to that tiny hole. Well, my daddy used to be a prospector. He used to be a prospector, and he used to be a coal miner. He would dig holes a lot, and sometimes he would invite me and my kinfolk over to, play around the vicinity. But instead of using a golf club, we used our shovels. Instead of using balls, we used, you guessed it, rocks. We would have to try and find a way to get the shovel to knocked the rocks into the hole. And then I remember one time, I swung the shovel so hard, I hit my daddy in the forehead with it. He was unconscious for 5 days. He woke up and he yelled, 4! I said, Daddy, am I punished? Are you gonna punish me? He said, I wouldn't, but a tiger would. James, if you wrote that joke for me, I'm gonna hit you with my cane later. But anywho, moral of the story is this. Even if you lack balls, don't let that prevent you from playing sports. Not everybody needs balls these days. With that in mind, have a good day.